Have you ever noticed how some people walk into a room and instantly command respect, even without saying a word? It is an invisible weight, a gravity that forces the chaotic noise of the environment to settle the moment they arrive. Most people desperately miscalculate where this gravity comes from. They assume it requires physical perfection, a massive bank account, or a loud, aggressive display of social status. But it doesn't. We have all seen individuals who possess immense wealth or superficial beauty, yet their presence feels entirely empty. They bleed insecurity the moment they speak. True aura, the kind of undeniable, magnetic authority that commands respect without ever seeking validation, comes from a series of deep psychological codes that most people never take the time to develop. What if the level of your influence isn't dictated by how hard you chase attention, but by what you choose to protect in total silence? This magnetic gravity is not mystical. It isn't a genetic lottery ticket. You either inherit or live without. Your aura is simply the energetic feedback loop created by your daily habits, your internal mindset, and your level of self-respect. Human beings are highly sophisticated behavioral radar systems. We are constantly reading micro expressions, tonal shifts, and emotional control. We can instantly detect the difference between a person who is wearing a mask of confidence and a person whose confidence is structurally woven into their character. Aura cannot be simulated. It must be earned through the choices you make when you think. The world isn't watching. True aura begins when you completely stop asking for permission to exist. The single fastest way to liquidate your personal power is to engage in approval-seeking behavior. The moment you twist your opinions, change your posture, or soften your boundaries just to keep the people around you comfortable, your presence is compromised. People-pleasing is a psychological data leak. It signals to the subconscious minds of everyone in the room that your internal values are entirely for sale in exchange for a temporary dose of social safety. The individual who needs everyone to like them inherently possesses zero real leverage. High aura individuals make decisions based on an internal compass of values, not the fluctuating opinions of the crowd. They are perfectly content to stand entirely alone in their frame, and ironically, that absolute willingness to walk away is exactly what makes them unforgettable. If you want to dominate the environment, you must learn to speak less and observe more. The masses operate on emotional autopilot, constantly competing for airtime, interrupting others, and talking loudly just to prove they matter. This is a severe tell of internal anxiety. In the realm of behavioral psychology, constant talkers are often perceived as less confident because they display an inability to sit with their own thoughts. True power belongs to the calm observer. When you master the art of deliberate silence, you instantly change the dynamic of the room. You listen not to reply, but to map out the entire psychological landscape. You read what isn't being said, the body language, the hidden motives, the structural weaknesses. When a high aura individual finally chooses to speak, their words carry massive weight because they are precise, measured, and backed by absolute certainty. Anyone can appear strong when life is easy, but real character is forged exclusively when the system is under pressure. This is where the ancient principles of Stoicism become a weapon. Most people react immediately to environmental chaos. If they get a bad email, face an unexpected delay, or encounter a passive-aggressive insult, they instantly blow up, get defensive, or panic. They allow the environment to dictate their internal state. A high-aura individual meets chaos with a wall of cold, unbothered apathy. They understand that the moment you react emotionally to a provocation, you hand over your master keys to the provocateur. When things go completely sideways, they do not flinch. They pause, detach emotionally, and respond with calculated, clinical execution. That unshakable stillness in the middle of a storm is the ultimate alpha trait. It signals to everyone looking for leadership that while the world is burning, your perimeter remains entirely secure. But you can never project strength to the outside world if you are running an internal deficit. Confidence is not built through positive thinking or yelling affirmations into a mirror. It is built exclusively by keeping promises to yourself. Think about the hidden toll of your broken contracts. Every time you tell yourself you are going to wake up early, execute a workflow, or fix your diet, and then fail to do it, you perform a microscopic act of self-sabotage. Your subconscious mind doesn't care about your potential. It tracks your behavior. When you repeatedly betray your own goals, you destroy your self-trust. You cannot carry yourself with aura when your own conscience knows your word means nothing. High aura individuals hold themselves to an elite, non-negotiable standard of integrity. When they run an unbroken streak of discipline, their confidence becomes an objective fact. They move with gravity because their actions have consistently matched their intent. The ultimate foundation of a magnetic presence is a clear, unshakable purpose. There is a massive, visible contrast between a person who is drifting aimlessly through life and a person who is moving toward a mission. A drifting individual looks for distractions, seeks entertainment, and clings to anyone who will offer them comfort. They have no direction, which means they have no presence. But when a human being is locked into a deep, defining purpose, their entire architecture transforms. Their time becomes scarce. Their focus becomes hyper-targeted. They stop participating in petty social drama or chasing cheap validation because they simply do not have the bandwidth for irrelevance. This singular focus creates an intense aura of certainty. Focused people naturally attract respect because they emit the energy of someone who knows exactly where they are going, and the world instinctively moves out of the way for an individual who moves with a clear destination. Why do most people live and die without ever developing this level of presence? Because they choose the path of least resistance. They choose constant digital distraction over deep strategic thought. They choose the fear of judgment over the pain of authenticity. They substitute external validation for internal discipline. They spend their entire lives chasing attention, completely blind to the reality that attention is a cheap, temporary currency while respect is a permanent asset. This is your invitation to log out of the collective noise. For the next 30 days, I challenge you to initiate a total framework reset. Stop chasing approval. Speak half as much as you listen. Pause for 3 seconds before reacting to any external pressure. Keep every single promise you make to yourself, no matter how small, and align your daily actions with a defining mission. Move through your layout with absolute zero telemetry. Your aura is not an outfit you put on to impress the room. It is a psychological fortress. You build through the choices you make when nobody is watching. Comment below which of these traits your framework needs to optimize right now to secure the perimeter. Like this video to lock in your alignment and subscribe to this channel to join the elite who choose self-mastery over mediocrity. Stay sharp, remain immovable, and let your execution deliver the message.